It's your girl, Richelle Shaw, author of The $1 Million Equation, here with the $1 Million Equation podcast. And on today's episode, what in the world does Spider-Man have to do with a great business lesson for you? Really, it involves Beyonce and Jamie Foxx. What? You don't want to miss that one. Plus, the only 3 ways to grow your business, probably my favorite $1 Million Equation lesson, your assignment of what we can do to get you closer to your goal. And then last, of course, my message for Devin today. All right, I'll see you here right after the break.
Welcome to the $1 Million Equation podcast, a podcast about the easiest, fastest way to build $1 million business based on the best-selling book, The $1 Million Equation. If you love business, each episode reveals all of the core fundamental essentials for growth. Now, here's your host, Richelle Shaw.
Hey, welcome back. All right, welcome to this episode, Spider-Man. Yeah, so my daughter and I on Christmas Day went to see Spider-Man. It was the best Spider-Man ever, which is the reason why it's just killing the box office. But my lesson today has nothing to do with the box office. It has to do with the ripple effect. So Spider-Man, Tom Holland, yes, also did another little movie called Uncharted. And the geniuses at Uncharted said, wait a minute, Spider-Man is doing huge numbers. So while we were sitting in eating our popcorn, waiting for the movie to start, guess what pops up? Is a preview of Uncharted. So we're watching the preview, we're like, ooh, that looks like a good movie too, right? And it didn't even make the connection that Tom Holland was Spider-Man, right? And it was in both, right? Because I'm just I'm a fan. I really came to see Zendaya, to be totally honest, because I just think that she's just a rock star. And when she was little, me and my kid used to watch Casey Undercover. So we love that show. And so since they had that, we were like, all right, let's go see Spider-Man. So so Tom Holland has a new movie called Uncharted. And he's got Mark Wahlberg in there and another little cool black chick that's like bald. She's got little blonde hair. Like she looks like she's a badass. So I'm like, yeah, we got to go see that. But what the geniuses did of Uncharted, and here's the business lesson for you, is that they didn't just take Uncharted and release it by itself. They wanted to piggyback it on top of the success of Spider-Man. So I figured this out probably a couple years ago. I was watching when Ray came out, right? And so Ray came out, and then Jamie Foxx won the Academy Award for Ray. Nobody knew he was going to win it, but once he won it, then within the next 2 weeks, another movie came out starring Jamie Foxx. Right? And so they have him back on the shows to talk about the Academy Award and the new movie, which is getting free publicity, that you don't have to pay for. And they said, how did you do both? Like, was it hard to go from Ray to this other character? And Jamie Foxx said, what? I filmed that other movie 3 years ago. He goes, wonder why they just decided to release it now. Right? Great business lesson, because they understand the layering, hanging on to the celebrity once it's still going, right? Beyonce, I teased you about her earlier. So Beyonce said, look, they asked her, why do you work so hard? She goes, I just released album after album after album. Why? Because then I can go on tour so that I can accumulate lots of cash. And then when I'm 30, I don't have to work anymore. Well, now she's 40 and she's still, stomping really hard and doing her thing, doing her dance, but she's still making money. Right? So her thing was, I understand that layering. I want to make sure that I'm layering something too. Here's how that layering effect works also. McDonald's has a new product, has a new thing every quarter, right? Every quarter. Like the McRibs, they're not out the whole time. Starbucks, same thing. When they release their pumpkin spice, right? They have another a chai latte, another double latte. It's something new so that they have a reason to one be in the media and another reason to get you to come back more often to try this new thing. Yeah. Yes. So that's why Spider-Man really just set the charts up for Uncharted because now people are like, I have to go see Uncharted. Is it going to do the same numbers? Well, what's going to happen is it's going to open, and if it's not as good as they say it is, if he's not as good as he say he is, right? That's my favorite movie, New Jack City, when he comes out. If he's not who he says he is, I'm going to kill him and then I'm going to kill you. My favorite part. So if it's not as good as it says, it's going to fall flat, right? But they may only need to make opening weekend money back so that they can be profitable. Yes. So that when you are looking at your business, you definitely want to piggyback with something that's already come out and successful. So that's going to lead us into our $1 million equation lesson this week is that there's only 3 ways to grow, and it has a lot to do with Spider-Man and piggybacking. Hey, we'll be right back as we go into the 3 ways to grow your own $1 million business. Thanks.
Hey, 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 MDE Nation. Have you grabbed the original, the OG book, the book that started it all? The book, The $1 Million Equation. That was my original passion project where everybody kept asking me, Richelle, tell me how you rebuilt back your $1 million business. How in the world did you come back from losing it all? How in the world did you do it? And I sat and I spent 2 weeks and I wrote the $1 Million Equation. So it sounds exactly how I talk. If you put my voice to it while you're reading it, you will feel the essence of me. But you will also learn some really great, valuable lessons on how to build your own $1 million business. Yep, you can grab it right there on Amazon.
Hey, hey, hey. All right, we're back to talk about your $1 million equation lesson today. And it's all about 3GR. So there's only 3 ways to grow a business. I know you can push back, but let me explain for a second. There's only 3 ways. There's one, go out and get a brand new customer. You get a brand new customer, they pay you more money, and your business grows, right? But most entrepreneurs, number one, aren't really good at getting brand new, and they're not really good, or they just don't make a priority of ways 2 and ways 3. And that's what the $1 million equation is really about, is leveraging those other ways to grow your business. So what's way number 2? Yeah. So way number 2 is get your existing customers to come back more often. So you remember at the beginning of this episode, I was talking about Tom Holland and Spider-Man, and that they've released that, and now Uncharted is coming out too, right? That stars Tom Holland and Marky Mark and some badass black chick. Happen to love, black girls rock. Yes, yes. So they're coming out with this other movie because they want you to return to see that. Yes. So how often are your customers supposed to come back and buy from you again? That's how you get to grow your business. So for example, I had a client who was an accountant, right? I think I talked about him a few episodes before, that he is like my favorite. Why I picked him as an accountant, because he's an entrepreneur. But when we were building his $1 million business, when we first started, all he did was taxes. He's like, that's all I want to do, Richelle. All I want to do is taxes. I said, okay, so do you want to grow? He's like, yeah. I said, all right, so here's a way that you can grow. Have them come back more often. So do something besides the taxes. He's like, I can do like their quarterlies, and it would make doing taxes easier. And I could do bookkeeping, and that would make doing taxes easier. I said, yes. So now he does quarterlies, he does the bookkeeping, and number one, makes his doing taxes much easier, but he also gets paid every single month for the monthly bookkeeping for them, right? So we added an extra 500,000 onto his business just by adding that with his existing customers. Yes, his existing customers. We went, added another way for them to pay him and built his practice, doubled it overnight. Another $500,000 got him to the million. He's like, oh yeah, I'm good now. I'll just sit and coast for a while. Like, no, that's not what should happen. But easy way to grow really quickly, right? Is getting your existing customers to come back and spend more money with you more often. And then there's the third way, right? The third way is expanding every transaction with them. So what do I mean by that? So when you're going to pay, add other things. So cross sells, upsells, downsells. Right? So I always give the example is when you go into the grocery store, where is the milk? Okay. So all of my moms on here know that the milk is in the very back of the grocery store. So why is that? Well, because they want you to go all the way to the back of the store to get a perishable item, to get an item that you're going to come back more often to pick up, right? And while you're here picking it up more often, you're going to grab a couple of things. Ooh, potato chips are on sale. You know what? The steaks are on sale. We can have steaks for dinner. Oh my goodness. Did you see that there's flowers here? Oh, the ice cream. Now you've got a full basket and you only came in for milk. And then they double down when you get close to the end, right? They totally double down and have Visine. Like, who really? You're gonna buy Visine at the grocery store? They have candy bars, they have magazines, all things that you mindlessly shop. So the grocery stores know automatically that they've got you in the store. Now let's get you to spend more each time that they are with you. So just fun, right? So when you're looking at your business, you want to make sure that you are always, when you get a new customer, that you are figuring out how they can buy from you more often and spend more every single time that they're with you. Fun, fun, fun. $1,000,000 equation secrets. But probably my favorite one to really transform businesses. If I come to the business, I look immediately and I ask you, okay, so tell me, when should somebody be back to buy from you again? Oh, well, they only buy once a year or every 3 years. Okay, well, then we need to create something so that they can buy from you more often and create something so that we can expand the transaction. Yeah, good, 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 good. All right. So let's talk about your assignment, right? Because it goes right into the lesson today. So we won't take a break. We'll just go right into the assignment. And your assignment today is look in your business and figure out, are you doing all three of these things to grow your company? Is there a reason for them to return again? Right. So I always, since we talked about Beyonce at the beginning of this, right? Ring the alarm. She used to sing song, but there should be an alarm bell that goes off that tells you when somebody should come back and buy from you again and again and again. Yeah. And that should trigger your marketing to them again to remind them. Yeah. So why do you get the little postcard from the dentist, right? Why do you get that? It's because they want you to come in more often, right? That's why when you come in for the cleaning, they do an inspection first, not because they don't know that your teeth need to be cleaned. Yes, but they're hoping that something else is wrong so that they can go, hey, you know what? That eye tooth over here on number 17 is not looking like we want it to look. You might need a root canal, whatever. But if they can get you to come back more often, then they've got another shot at getting you to spend more money. I know all of those secrets, right? So right now, Your assignment is to look in your business and see when you can get somebody to return again. See how you can shorten that cycle. One of the greatest things about the telephone business is that people had to come every single month and pay their bills. So when I built my $1 million business back so quickly, I only had to get 1,500 clients to get to that $1 million level. I didn't have to go and get 14,000 that I had originally, right? To get to a level where we could breathe, where we could pay our bills and we could grow as we wanted to. So when you're thinking about how often they're coming, of course, ideal is once a month, right? Ideal is once a week if you are a store, a retail store where they need to get things from you. Why do you think you get the emails that have a sale, right? Old Navy has a sale every day. They just pick an item. Yep. Okay. Leggings are on sale. Okay. Neck wraps are on sale. Okay. Sweaters are on sale. Because if they can get you to come back more often and you are spending money, now they've just grown the business immensely. So think about ways that you can get customers to come back more often. I just love this stuff. Can you tell? Can you tell that I just love it? All right. Well, I'll be right back with my important message for my dear, darling Devin, and we'll wrap up today's episodes. All right. We'll be right back.
Thank you so much for listening to my passion project and the $1 Million Equation podcast. Love what you're hearing? If you like it, I love it. So click the subscribe button to get each week your new favorite episode.
I know, sometimes I get on a roll and I start dancing and I can hear the music in my ear and, Sierra 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and level up, level up, level up, level up, level up. Okay. All right. And for you men, she's married to Russell Wilson, the quarterback of the Seattle Seahawks for right now. I don't know. I think they might part ways this year. I don't know what's going to happen, but maybe. But it's kind of my favorite song. Like when I'm speaking live, like that's my intro song. Either that one or Outstanding by the Gap Band, because I'm old, right? So when I hear outstanding, hey, so outstanding, hey, girl, you knock me out. Ooh. Ooh, all right. So this is my embarrassing segment for my 16-year-old Devin. So that she can be like, oh, Mommy, I can't believe you actually did that. As I've told you guys from the beginning, is that, I know I'm not going to live forever, but I want these lessons to live forever with her. So my lesson for and message for my dear, darling Devin is that ready and perfect never comes. So when you're waiting to be ready to go do something that scares you, to make you uncomfortable, when you're ready for waiting for something to be a perfect time or until you get ready, I'm getting ready to, all that is a lot of times is procrastination. So I just want you to recognize that that's all it is procrastination, and really get focused on just doing the uncomfortable things. So one of the things that I do that I have in my journal, and we have an MDE journal coming out at later on this year, with the new book, with the new $1 Million Equation 2.0, and some other fun things, and a workbook, so that now all these assignments will be all there if you like it. But in it, it's that you have to do things that are uncomfortable. So every night I write down what I did today that I got some pushback, but I pushed through even though I was uncomfortable, because I've found that procrastination can take over, and you getting ready can take over, and you waiting for it to be perfect can take over. You don't have to do any of those things. You can show up imperfectly in your imperfect, beautiful self, even with your hair not done, right? In a t-shirt, sitting in my living room in front of a computer for a podcast, just sharing my insights. At first, I've been uncomfortable about doing this podcast for years. I've had it on the list for years. I've had it in my journal for years. I've had these stories that have been inside of me that when I tell them on stage, the entire room starts laughing. But I didn't know how to transform that and the no immediate feedback. I didn't know how to transform that to an audio. And I've held this in my inside for a long time. And already I've gotten amazing feedback of those who love it. I've gotten some shitty feedback too, of people who hate it. And you know what I say to them? And for those of you that aren't watching, I just gave the finger, right? Those that matter don't care. And those that care don't matter. Dr. Seuss. Yeah. Ready and perfect doesn't come. And in your imperfection is where true beauty and connection comes from. In my imperfection is where my audience has, over the years, has found that I'm just a real person who has had some amazing experiences. Since I was in 19 was my first time ever writing a radio commercial that got us 500 calls a day to the tax firm that I worked for. 19, I've spent my life with people telling me that I'm not perfect and that, my goodness, why would I come on television or on a podcast or without my hair, totally perfect? And how am I coming on without my face fully made? Or with my eyelashes that need to be done? Or the gap in my teeth? That's what they say. And here's what I found is that anytime somebody said that to me, it's their insecurities, not mine. It's theirs. And how dare you project those on me? So to my beautiful daughter, I love you for free. You're going to change this world. I know you are. And how you change it is by showing up in your authentic self and not waiting until you're ready or not waiting for the perfect time. When I was ready to have you, I wasn't ready. As a matter of fact, my water broke at 2 a.m. after I just came home from being in the hospital with my assistant, who was one of my best friends, who had a stroke, and I was there with her. I came home 9 months pregnant, 2 o'clock, and was just exhausted. And said, you know what, I'm just going to take a shower and go to bed. And all of a sudden, there was water everywhere. And I wasn't ready for you. But oh, what the amazing gift I got. And you got here. So I'm a crybaby. And I love that little girl so much. And after that, I decided to never, ever wait until I'm ready. And never, ever wait until it's comfortable. And never, ever wait until it's perfect. Just go after it and do the best you can. All right, y'all. I love you for free. First time crying. What? Episode 3? Yeah. I know it. I know. You'll hear more of me crying. You'll hear more of me sharing. And I just thank you for downloading the episode, downloading future episodes. And I'm going to do everything in my power to get you to that $1 million level. All right. I love you for free. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.